I remember being on an airplane going to Amarillo, and Bret Hart was on my flight. And let me tell you, the turbulence was so bad. But I remember Bret just laughing, staring at me and laughing because I thought we were going to die.
$1997.
Awesome.
The 50 years of funk, one of many of Terry Funk's retirements, but this one had a full show wrapped around it with many of the ECW stars on the actual WrestleFest card. The 50
Was
years
this the
of funk.
first retirement?
I couldn't tell you that.
Was this the launch of the retirements? Like
this was just one of many, is all I could tell you.
Because, you know, we all thought that this was the end for Terry. Little did we know it was not. But yeah, this was something. Obviously, he was in ECW at the time, and a lot of us went there to work this show. I remember being on an airplane going to Amarillo, and Bret Hart was on my flight, sitting with us. And I remember, I want to say Balls Mahoney was on my flight. Or maybe it wasn't Balls. Was Balls at this show?
Yes, he was.
Okay, then Balls was on my flight. Was Shane on my flight? I don't remember, but there was a bunch of ECW people and Bret Hart. And let me tell you, the turbulence was so bad.
Really?
So bad. And I remember freaking out. And I remember Bret, and he'll never remember this, and I don't think he remembers even meeting me. But I remember Bret just laughing, staring at me and laughing because I thought we were going to die. The plane was a rockin'. And it was just like the boys were egging me on because I didn't like flying. I still don't like flying to this day. It scares the shit out of me. But we were hitting air pocket after air pocket and just dropping and rocking. And I really thought we were going to die. And I was like, could you imagine if this flight goes down? So much talent on the airplane would be dead.
Wow.
God forbid.
I was going to say, God forbid.
Absolutely. But, you know, when you're on it and you're experiencing it, like it was one of the worst flights. And I was scared shitless. I was just like, oh my God, please don't I'm praying and people are laughing at me. And, but yeah, Bret and his family were there, his brothers. I think Stu was even there.
There was a lot. There was a
lot of talent there.
Bruce Hart is in his corner in the actual match.
I think Bruce kind of took a liking to me.
Well,
Bruce is very nice to me. But I remember shaking Stu's hand, and the grip on that old gentleman was enough to kill you. Like he had the strongest, firmest handshake. I think one of the strongest I've ever experienced in my life. But it was a fun weekend. I remember being in my hotel room trying to get some pop music on the radio, and all I could find was country music because I'm in Amarillo, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
We got to go to the ranch, the Double Cross Ranch, and we got to have like a cookout with the family. It was just a great time. Very, very special to be included in that. And I loved Terry. You know, Terry, I've said it a million times, Terry was great. He was very intense in the ring, and sometimes he was a wild card, and he would do things that weren't talked about. Because he was a little, we're all a little crazy. But when he got out there, he was just like 100 times ramped up, you know what I mean? And but I loved him. Great man. So this was special to be included.
Do you know how the talent was selected at all?
No, I was just told we're going to the Double Cross Ranch, and I was just like, really? And they're like, yeah, Terry's retiring. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it made sense, I guess, Terry worked with Shane,
Yeah.
and Terry was really close with Tommy Dreamer. So it made sense that they went, and then, you know, myself and Beulah were aligned with Shane and Tommy. So we were going, but I don't know how that card was put together. I don't know who put that card together. I don't know if it was just Terry. I don't know. I was never told that. I was just told you're going.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this show actually took place, and, you know, and they announced Brett was going to be on the show. That was such a huge thing. And you knew there would be some ECW involvement. And then they had others from outside. You know, you had Puerto Rico representation. You had the Japanese representation, all honoring Funk. But the ECW representation, and I mean, I'll go down the card, too, and we can kind of mention who was in it. You could tell it's some of, like, I think some of the ECW guys that maybe, you know, held higher positions, perhaps.
See, I mean, well, you know, you want to, I hate to say this, but you want to draw. You want your house to draw. So if you're going to do something like a big show, you're going to get top talent. You know what I mean? Like, you want to draw a house. So, you know, that might have been a factor as well. Was this the show that referee was trying to get on? Yes. Okay. Because we did talk about that once when he was kind of like trying to maneuver his way onto the card.
Yeah, that's the classic from Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat. Okay.
Dennis Stamp jumping on the trampoline.
Right.
You know, I'm not booked. That's the whole. He's the referee of the main event for Brett and Funk. But I'll go down the card. So again, ECW represented more than anybody. Because that's where Funk was at the time. Yeah. But opening match, Wing Kanemaru versus Roadkill, Taz versus Chris Candido, match for the ECW World Television Championship. Shark Tatsuyaya, I don't know how to say this, versus Lady Kuga. The Youngbloods versus the Bushwhackers. Balls Mahoney with the Sandman versus Bubba Ray Dudley.
With the Sandman.
But it was originally advertised as, I think it was supposed to be Balls versus the Sandman on the original card. But this was Balls with the Sandman defeating Bubba. Dory Funk versus Rob Van Dam. Mankind versus Sabu, which is, again, that's another great callback to their feud from ECW as Cactus Jack, but Mankind being his WWF character and being so close to Funk and on this show. Then you got Hakushi Hayabusa, Masato Tanaka versus the Headhunters and Jake Roberts. And then in the main event, Bret Hart and Terry Funk.
And you forgot our match.
And I was going to say, without question, Shane
Where
Douglas
did we place on that card?
You were sixth.
Okay.
And that was a singles match for the ECW Heavyweight Championship. Champion Shane Douglas versus challenger Tommy Dreamer.
Hey there, it is the Queen of Extreme Francine from ECW. Do you want to see more of me? Click over here to watch another video. Or click over here to listen to my podcast. And as always,